If you're selling online courses or digital products, here's why you're not making enough sales. Stick with me. I've got a couple of things that you really need to just do a double check to make sure you're not making this fatal mistake with your online courses. Please make sure that you have understood who your target audience is. I have this question come up a lot, and when it comes down to getting people to work out where their sales are falling through, why their courses aren't selling, while their digital products aren't selling, is usually because people haven't quite yet figured out exactly who they're selling to. And this works whether you're selling to individuals or if you're selling to the corporate business space. So in this example of the email I've received here, this particular person, the student, the consumer of the content, the educational digital resource, is a 3rd to 5th grader, a child. The consumer, however, in this case, isn't the buyer. And what I see happening a lot in this education space when it comes to selling a product is we mistake the consumer from the buyer. Now in B2C world in general, for instance, if you're selling to business owners, it's really obvious, right? The consumer, the person who is going to consume the content, is also usually the person who's paying for the product. It can be fairly easy to start working out who that target audience is. But in instances like this, we think that the student, the recipient of the education, is the buyer. They are not. It is usually either the parent of the child, who the buyer is, or it's the Department of Education or the school or the particular year group budget or the careers department of a particular school that is the buyer. And therefore, instead of talking to the student in our sales copy, in talking about what the benefits of the product actually are, we need to be thinking about who is going to be the person that opens the purse strings here. If it is the school that is the client, that is the buyer, the purchaser, we need to be talking about how our educational supplement or program or digital product or us coming in as a speaker is going to help the school reach its objectives, reach its goals, reach its curriculum outputs, reach whatever its core values are as an organization. If it's the teachers and it's going to be part of their CPD, we need to be focusing on how they can keep their jobs, be better at their jobs, become the master in their roles, have the best students coming out so that they can become a leading educator. How are they going to incorporate your particular product or resource into making their jobs easier or contributing to the CPD hours that they need? Completely different sales pitch, same product. Where are you going wrong? When it comes to the corporate equivalent of the particular example we're talking about here, I see so many course creators and speakers, trainers and presenters going to corporate organizations and again, completely targeting the wrong people, being confused about who they're talking to. So if you are specifically targeting individual executives, for example, it is going to be those individual people you need to reach out to. For instance, using the advanced search feature on LinkedIn, you can search for particular job roles in particular organizations in particular countries, and you need to be selling that product, that program, that training, that coaching to that executive, how it's going to help them do their job better, how it's going to help them go through the career ladder that they're after, and how it's going to be part of their CPD and potentially get funding from their employer to join. If, however, you're trying to target a group of employees from a particular organization, then the consumer, yes, is the employee. However, the buyer, the person you need to sell to, is going to be something like the training manager or the HR manager, the departmental manager, and it's that particular person that you're going to need to get in touch with and sell it to how that training is going to help the organization meet its organizational operational objectives, how it's going to meet its strategic objectives, how it's going to help the organization hit certain KPIs, how it's going to help it increase in market share, rather than targeting how that particular individual is going to improve at a more microscopic level. So this is the big mistake that people are making is, yes, they know what their training is and what it does and how it helps people, but they're selling it to the wrong person. If you are selling to schools, then you need to be going out buying perhaps a database or list of schools in your particular region and targeting the school and how your training is going to help the school meet its commitments to whatever its strategic plan is. If you're trying to target individual teachers, you need to be reaching out into those individual educators, join the educators Facebook groups, join educators LinkedIn groups, reach out to those individuals and help them see how your program, your training, your product is going to help them with their CPD and advance in their careers. Exactly the same same program, totally different sales pitch, and absolutely makes the difference between whether your thing's going to sell, if you're going to get booked as a speaker, or if you're just going to hear nothing but crickets. If you want help working out how your training, how your programs, how your digital products can get into the hands of your students, reach more people, and make you more money, come and book a call with me. I'll help you get it sorted. See you there.